Hey guys, as promised, here's part 2 of my take on the off season and my predictions for next season. Alright, so as I was finishing up, I was talking about the Pistons division, the Central Division, and the competition that was going to be in it, along with who I thought might make the playoffs in the East, and what I'd like to see happen being some trades to even out the East a little bit more. Another team that I hadn't talked about in the first video that's going to be a big threat in the East is the Hawks. They'll probably be 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there. I'm expecting about a 5 from them, just because it seems like they always underachieve, and Joe Johnson's big contract might distract him a little bit from his play. But we'll see. I think so far my take was probably Orlando 1, Miami 2, Chicago 3, Milwaukee 4, Atlanta 5, Detroit 6, Cleveland 7, Charlotte 7, and Cleveland 8. I think that will probably be the picture. That's a lot of teams. You know what? It can't be that, can it? Probably can't, because that's way too many teams from the Central Division. Cleveland might miss the playoffs, and who knows? We might. Well, I miss Boston, so Boston will be a 6, Detroit the 7, and Charlotte the 8. So that'll probably be the breakdown. Could be a little off. The Wizards might surprise some people this year. I know they had a lot of injuries last year as well, but I think they've kind of moved on and started moving into more of a rebuilding stage. But John Wall and JaVale McGee, I watched them a lot in the Summer League. Those two guys could be very dangerous for the Wizards. As far as the West is concerned, everybody knows the Lakers are going to be the 1 seed. Question is, who's going to be after the Lakers? Obviously, the Suns were very close last year to beating the Lakers. I thought they were going to win that series, to be honest. But they did it. They lost Amari Stoudemire because of it. No way the Suns will be in the Western Conference Finals this year unless Hedo Turkoglu starts playing like he did back when he was with the Kings. I mean, he played better with the Kings his last couple years than he had with even the Magic, because he was playing his top ball then. But I don't think he can perform like that anymore. So, who else is out there? You know, in the West, honestly, the surprise team's going to be the Thunder once again, but they aren't going to be an 8 seed. They'll be probably a 3 going into the playoffs next year. Kevin Durant getting better every year. They acquired Cole Aldrich in the draft. He'll boost their big men. They'll be very, very tough to beat. They beat the Lakers last year without a big man practically. Jeff Green's tall, but he plays like he's a small forward. Honestly, I would love to see them move Durant down into the 2, play somebody, or play Harden at the 2. I don't know. I think Harden's better off the bench for him. Play somebody, maybe Jeff Green at the 3, then have a big 4 and who's their 4? Can't think of anybody there. Ibaka, but he got hurt. Hopefully it's not too serious. And then you've got Cole Aldrich at the 5. I think they'll be very competitive next year. Love to see them put Durant at the 2. That would be amazing to me, because 2s can't guard Kevin Durant. We've proven that. 3s can't guard Kevin Durant. 3s can, but if you put Jeff Green at the 3, no 2 is going to be able to guard Jeff Green. It's going to be tough if they do something like that. Now, for the rest of the West, Jazz will make the playoffs if Kirilenko stays healthy and Jefferson stays healthy. See how Gordon Hayward does in the NBA. Honestly, I think the Warriors, might pull off a playoff spot. 7, 6, somewhere in there, with David Lee and Steph Curry, I think, and Monte Ellis is still there. I think that could really help them. For the rest of the West, it's just going to be, kind of a scrap like it always is. The Suns will make the playoffs. The Spurs will make the playoffs. Well, that's if they can get a small forward. At this point, Richard Jefferson is assumed to re-sign with them for less money, but it's not confirmed. And you never know. Richard Jefferson's out there. Cleveland's still got a ton of money. Matt Barnes just signed with the Raptors, so Cleveland might want to be trying to use that money somewhere else. Richard Jefferson's still out there. It's a possibility. So I think that the Suns might make the playoffs. The Spurs will make the playoffs. The Rockets, they'll be a high seed next year. They have built a team around the team. It's really not one player. Yao was hurt last year. They still made the playoffs. I think that they're going to make a run. I think they're the biggest competition. Them and the Nuggets probably for the West against the Lakers. I still think the Lakers are going to win it, but I think the Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Rockets are going to be competitive against the Lakers. We'll see if the Hornets can come back from last year. Darren Collison played great, but he's no Chris Paul. Yet, for some reason, he might become the next Chris Paul in New Orleans because Chris Paul might be on his way out, for all we know. So that's pretty much my take on who's going to make the playoffs. For the MVP, I'm picking Carmelo Anthony. Why? LeBron James can't win it. Kobe's not going to win it because Pau Gasol takes up too much of Kobe's thunder to get another MVP. That leaves Carmelo. The door's wide open for him to just walk in and take that MVP if he can play it right. He and Durant, I think, will be the top two for the MVP. Defensive Player of the Year, Dwight Howard, LeBron, Ron Artest maybe. I mean, his defense is underrated, but I think people are starting to realize how good of a defender he actually is. It's just his numbers don't show it, so I don't think he'll win it. So you never know. It could be somebody like Josh Smith. He's a great athlete, great blocks all the time. He could come out and win that kind of an award. Most improved player, I've already told you guys once, I'll tell you again, Charlie Villanueva will be the most improved player. Sixth man of the year, I wouldn't be surprised to see if he was on Detroit either. Ben Gordon if Rip Hamilton doesn't leave. Jonas Jerebko maybe. I'm not positive that the Pistons will pick up 2 awards. Coach of the year, my prediction, Tom Thibodeau from the Bulls. I think that with that roster, with the way that team should go, he'll get that award. As far as the first team goes, that's all I'm going to cover. I'm not going to cover all the all defense and the second team and the third team and the all rookie team. Rookie of the year, first of all, Blake Griffin, hands down. You can take John Wall and say that he's going to be great this year, and he could. But Blake Griffin was going to win last year's competition, hands down. And it was the most competitive for a while, since, Brandon Roy. So I really don't think, or the Chris Paul year, that was competitive. Maybe even as competitive as the LeBron year last year was. But this year, I think Blake Griffin wins it in a landslide. As far as the first team is concerned, point guard, I'll say Derrick Rose. I don't think Chris Paul's going to win it. He's got way too much going on right now. Shooting guard. For some reason, I have a feeling that the big three are going to get in on it, but Kobe is still the better shooting guard than Dwayne Wade. Small forward, Carmelo. LeBron, sorry, it's not your year. You're going to be way too focused on trying to get the ball to everybody to win an award. Power forward, I'll give to Chris Bosh because I think he'll be a surprise out of that team. Maybe Al Jefferson, we'll see. And for the center, you got to go with Dwight Howard. Can't go wrong with Dwight Howard. So that's my wrap up of the off season and my early predictions for next season. We'll see how I do. Anyway, guys, thanks for staying in tune. Be talking to you guys again real soon. Thanks. Bye.